Okay, I bought a Carnage Epic Collection. I am opposed to these existing morally, by the way. And I read it because I was in the middle of reading Venom and going through those. And I figured, you know what, I'll cross over with the Carnage stuff because it kind of is related. This is after Maximum Carnage. The first volume is Maximum Carnage, which I have not bought. It's the one Epic Collection. I'm like, no, I'm not getting it because that material is completely covered in the Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collections. So the fact that they just reprinted it and then slapped a different cover on it is an insult to me and an insult to you as fans. This one has a lot of the same because almost all of this is going to be in the Spider-Man stuff. If it's not, it's in the Venom stuff. And so you get a whole host of things right here. Amazing Spider-Man 403, 410, Carnage Unleashed 1 through 4, which is in the Venom stuff, Carnage Mind Bomb, which is not, Sensational Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 67, Spectacular Spider-Man 233, Carnage It's a Wonderful Life, also a one-shot that's not, Venom on Trial, and then material from Amazing Spider-Man Super Special, which is the Planet of the Symbiote storyline. Now, a lot of this stuff isn't collected yet, but some of it will be in the Venom Epic Collections, and some of it might be with the Super Specials in the Spider-Man Clone Saga collections as well. I think it will be, actually. And so, again, you're seeing a lot of stuff that, like, this is material from the Clone Saga because Carnage plays a little part in that, and they just kind of show you a portion of that through here. And it's a lot of, like, just disconnected one-shots. Now, if you are interested in the character of Carnage and you've read Maximum Carnage, I would say you have to start there first because you need the origin of Carnage and then you need Maximum Carnage in order to really understand the character here. I guess if you really care about the character, you might want to get this. But beyond that, like, the one-shots that are just Carnage-centrics are really not that entertaining all by themselves. The Venom Carnage crossover here, which is, like I said, also in the Venom Epic Collections, Carnage Unleashed. Good storyline. This one's Carnage is being put into a video game, and for some reason his symbiote can actually go through the game and influence people. And so Venom actually comes and tries to shut him down while he's at Ravencroft there. And it's got some good Venom background stuff that's happening through the character as well. But I just recommend getting that Epic Collection for it. As far as, like I said, the Carnage Only stuff that's not going to be in different Epic Collections for the characters, there's only 2 issues in here. We got Planet of the Symbiotes. This is a really fun story, and these came out as super specials in 1995. They're extra long things, and the symbiotes like kind of all came here, and Carnage is kind of collecting them, which, you know, got followed up on in a recent one called Carnage Unleashed. And of course, the clones and Venom have to deal with them and kind of try to send them back to their symbiote place. And they got a whole Stargate and everything for this. This is an enjoyable storyline, but as I said, it's going to be in the Spider-Man Epic Collection anyway. So that is something that, like, you just don't need this book for. And so the fact that there's so much material in this that's reprinted elsewhere, the best material in this is reprinted elsewhere, it's really meh. So Carnage Mind Bomb is some of the stuff that's not. Warren Ellis wrote this, and I'm not a huge Warren Ellis fan, but again, this is just like in the head of Carnage kind of thing. So it's not really necessary for the character because you're really just in Ravencroft and you're dealing with, like, you know, a psycho in his head through the entire book. Like, none of the stuff that actually happens through a lot of this ends up being real on the outside world, and he just ends up in his cell at the end. So you don't really lose anything by this. Then Ben Reilly deals with Carnage as he's Spider-Man through here. That'll end up again in the Epic Collections. Not the best era of Spider-Man, but Carnage loses his potency a little bit during this era, and starting with the Clone Saga, you can kind of just punch him out. So, like, after Maximum Carnage, he gets powered a little bit and a lot less threatening. Now the twist here is, as you can see, the Carnage symbiote bonds with Ben Reilly for a little bit, and this makes for an interesting story because you get Spider Carnage, right? And that's kind of a cool thing. But again, that's going to be in Spider-Man Epic Collection at some point since they are doing the Clone Saga, and so you don't really need it. And then you get the final It's a Wonderful Life. Again, this is another, like, bizarro sort of thing. The art's kind of neat, I guess, is one thing that you could say for it. as Carnage is trying to escape. And eventually, it's another thing that's in the head of Carnage. This time, John Jameson has to deal with in the head of Carnage while Carnage manipulates him, and so does Kafka. And at the end of it, they're kind of like shutting down their sort of Ravencroft deals. This is a pointless story again at the end of this, and then you get Venom on trial, and Carnage is brought in as a witness for a little bit, which is kind of a side story too. So this is a pointless, worthless epic collection in my estimation. Sure, it's got all the Carnage stuff in it, but Carnage doesn't deserve this. He's got 2 things in here that are just 2 one-shots that are going to be outside of the Spider-Man lore, so it's like, why? And by that, a lot of this material that's just the Carnage stuff is just not worth reading. So the stuff that is in here, like I said, it is good. Even if it will be in another epic collection, whether it's Venom or Spider-Man, that stuff's all right. And so I'll give it a 7 out of 10 overall, but just know that this comes with that kind of warning that it's just not worth picking up. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.